morning, hello and welcome. My name is Amelia and I love playing with eyeshadow palettes. If that is something that interests you, then please consider subscribing before you leave. Today, we are playing around with the Natasha Denona Yucca palette. From this point on, I will be calling this the Yucca palette because that just sounds a lot nicer to say. But pronounced correctly, it is Yucca palette. But we're going to call it the Yucca palette for the sake of this video. And on a side note, saying Yucca is kind of like an inside joke with my husband, so that's what I'll be calling it. It's a long story for another video. I am going to be creating 2 looks with this palette today, but first off, let's have a closer look at exactly what's inside the palette. Let's show the swatches, let's talk about each shade individually. It's really exciting actually. I have nothing like this in my collection, so I'm very excited about it. So let's take a closer look at it. Okay, and here is the Yucca palette. It is so beautiful. I love the ombre color tones on the front. And this is the color story inside. So in the palette we have 15 shades and there is a total of 4 different formulas. So we have the classic mattes, the cream powders, metallics, and the sparkling foiled shades. As you can see from the color story, it's very earthy toned with lots of greens and golden shades. When it comes to the formulas, we have 4 shades of the new sparkling foiled from Natasha Denona. Those shades are Plantasia, Komorebi, Elysian, and Macchia. We then have 1 metallic shade, which is called Ray, this one right here. And we have 2 cream powder shades, which is Fuji and Calathea. And then we have a total of the 8 mattes remaining. So let's go ahead and swatch this beautiful color story. So first up, we have Plantasia. This is the first shade and it is the sparkling foiled formula. This is a green and bronzy rosewood duochrome. We then have Calathea, which is the cream to powder shade. This is a matte deep olive green. Next up we have Komorebi. This is another one of the sparkling foiled, and look at that shine. And this is classified as a mustard gold, but I can definitely see greens, golds reflecting in this shade. Then we have Acacia, which is a matte golden olive. I really like this shade a lot. And then the last shade we have for the top row is Camu Camu. This is a matte, vibrant lime color. Definitely requires some building up because it is such a neon looking shade. Then going in with the shade Tipu, this is a matte, dusty mustard green. We then have Elysian, which is another sparkling foiled shade, and this is a medium taupe. Wow, that's beautiful. We then have the shade Valley, and this is a matte dusty brown. Next up we have the shade Citrine, and this is a matte medium mustard color. We now have the metallic shade in the palette. This is Ray, and it is a green gold shade. Now we have Flax, which is the deep brown. We have the final cream to powder formula, and this is Fuji, which is a light medium mustard yellow. Look at that. Okay, I really should have started my swatches up here where my watch is. I'm running out of arm. The final sparkling foiled shade in the palette is Macchia, and I just love this shade so much. This is a medium golden olive, and I love it. It's so sparkly and beautiful. There's a lot of green, there's a lot of gold. It's stunning. Second last shade is Ixia. This is another matte, and it is a burnt caramel. Last shade in the palette is another matte, and it is called Willow, and it is a matte medium teal. And here we have the whole color story swatched out on my arm. I just love how cohesive this color story is. Everything goes so well together. What do you guys think of it? Okay, and we're back to finally play around with the Yucca palette. To start off with, I'm going to prime my eyelids. This is the Rare Beauty Eye Primer. Probably should have done my brows first too. Oh well. And I really want to create 2 looks today. I want to do one greeny toned and then one golden, beautiful, shimmering, sparkly dream toned. I'm going to try and make each look very different, but also I'm hopefully going to make them work together as well. Let's see how that goes. Let's zoom you in. The first shade we are picking up is Camu Camu. This is a matte, vibrant, limey yellow color. To start off with, I'm going to be placing this on the inner third of that crease area. It is okay if it gets on the lid as well, that's fine. I'm really interested to try this color because it looks so neon. So I imagine it will be difficult to build up that color on the eye. My eyelids are so dry at the moment. It's the most annoying thing in the world. Okay, as you can see, we're going backwards and forwards, building up the color on that inner third crease. All my brushes are dirty. Today's the day we need to clean the brushes. Next up, we're gonna take the shade Fuji. Now this is a cream to powder shade. I really wanna test this out. And it is kind of like this orangey mustard shade. And we're gonna place it on the middle third of the crease and slowly blend that out. As you can see, I've sort of gone a bit past the middle, but that's fine. This is actually blending really nicely. Cream shadows kind of scare me a bit. I don't know why, but this is blending like a dream. So the idea here is I'm trying to create a little bit of a sunset on the eye. I hope you guys can see it. To continue on with our sunset, we're gonna go in with the shade Ixia. This seems like a burnt orange shade, and we're just gonna tap that on the outer corner of the eye. And we're blending it onto the lid a little bit as well and up to meet where we had that previous shade, Fuji. I think that sort of looks like a sunset. I think it does. So I'm gonna tap this Ixia shade also onto the lid. We're gonna go to about halfway on the lid. Yep, just like that. And I think I'm happy with that. With this Camu shade, I feel like if we went in with a white base, then I'm sure this color would build up further. But because I've just gone in with a light layer of an eyeshadow primer close to my skin tone, I feel like this is as much as we're going to be able to build up that color, which it hasn't done too bad. I don't mind it at all. I think it's nice and soft. All right, I'm pretty happy with how the sunset is looking on my eye. Now let's go in with the shimmers, which is my favorite part. And I really want to play around with the new sparkling foiled formula in her palettes. We have 4 shades in here. I'm going to try and use all 4 today. We're going to try and do 2 on this eye and 2 on this eye. So the first sparkling foiled shade we're going to go in with is Plantasia. And this is a duochrome. Look how beautiful this is. So this is shifting from a green to like a rosy brown type of color. With Plantasia, I'm gonna place this on the outer lid a little bit, right on top of where we put the Fuji color. Fuji? No, Ixia. Oh, can you see that? It is shifting, it is gorgeous. I'm seeing warm oranges, I'm seeing greens, I'm seeing yellow shimmers. It's beautiful. It has such a wet look about it on the eyelid. My eye looks wet. It is beautiful. It is so sparkly. I love it. Okay, next up, this is probably one of my favorite shades in the palette. This is Komorebi. This is another sparkling foiled shade. And what I love about this shade is not just how beautiful it looks, but I love the name. It's such a beautiful name. So Komorebi is Japanese and it means sunlight leaking through the trees, which I think is just absolutely beautiful. What a gorgeous name. And this shade just absolutely excites me. I don't know how I would describe this. It's kind of mustardy, it's kind of green, it's kind of golden. It's such a hybrid shade, I think. And with Komorebi, we're gonna place this on the lid on the inner part there. Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. It is so sparkly. It's actually insane. I'm not sure if it's coming up on camera like it is in real life, but in real life, it is sparkling up a storm. I just love this new formula from Natasha Denona. This formula excites me so much. I just think it's the best formula ever, and I want more. I need more. So I hope you can see just how intense that my finger was able to pack on the pigment and the shimmers. It's so intense, it's so foil and wet looking. For a more natural look, try apply this with a brush. I think that would really like pack on the most beautiful, softest shimmers. I haven't tried that yet, but I will definitely try that coming up. I just really wanted to pack on the pigment today and pack on all the wetness. To try and finish off this look, we're gonna go in with the shade Flax. Flax is the dark brown in the palette, and I'm taking this on a very slim, thin brush. I'm just gonna pop it on top of my lash line. This is just gonna help make my lashes appear thicker. And for now, I'm gonna stop at the very edge. I might do a wing. We're gonna see how this look turns out, and then we'll see what we do from there. Okay, so this is all we're gonna do for look 1. We're gonna head over to look 2 now. and we'll finish them off together. To start off look 2, we're going back in with Camu Camu, and we're going to begin placing that the exact same way we placed it in look 1. So we're going on that inner third crease area, buffing it all in. It's okay if it goes on the lid. It's okay if it goes a bit high, that's fine. And this is the shade I'm hoping helps these 2 different looks come together. Blending it back and forth and building up that pigment. Now this shade color really excites me. This is the shade Tipu. I love this, it's such a murky color. This kind of reminds me of a murky green mustard color. I've been loving the murky tones lately. So with the shade Tipu, we're gonna begin buffing that into the center part. Now this is interesting. In the pan, it looks more greeny toned, but when I'm putting it on my lid, it kind of looks more brown, which is really interesting. This is really interesting. I absolutely love this color. This is a really nice neutral color. It's a different take on a neutral, which I just love. I love how this is blending out. It does have a tinge of green, but it is very brown toned. Okay, next up, I want to try out the shade Citrine. This kind of reminds me a bit of the shade we just did, Tipu. So I'm interested to see how different these are on the lid. This shade seems a bit brighter and more yellow in the pan. So we're gonna pop this on the outer corner and begin tapping that on the lid. Okay, yeah, I'm not sure if you can quite see, but there is a slight difference. Yeah, there is a difference. So this Citrine shade does come across as more yellow toned than the Tipu shade. So for the look I'm going for right now, I think I might grab a different matte color. This is not quite what I was looking for, but I am glad we tried that shade out. Let's just do it. Let's just go into the Willow shade. Let's just go for it. This is the beautiful green in the palette, a dark teal green. And we're gonna pop that right on top of where we put Citrine just to cover it up. Wow, it's beautiful green, isn't it? It's a really nice green. What? I was scared to try this color. It's actually a really nice green. Okay, so we're popping that on top of the lid. We're going no further than halfway. We're keeping it on the outer half of the lid and popping it up into the crease area. One thing I am wondering about this palette is how different the looks can be. This palette is a little bit monochromatic, so I'm excited to play around more with this palette. If you want to see more looks, please let me know, because I want to see how many different, really different looks you can create. Not looks that all sort of blend in and look the same. This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. This Tipu shade is very exciting to me. So I'm just using that Tipu shade to go ahead and blend any of the edges and mesh them all together. Okay, I think it's time for the shimmers. So we have 2 of these sparkling foiled shimmers left to pop in our lids. We have Elysian and also Macchia. So to start off with, let's go in with Elysian. Again, we want full color payoff today, so we're using the finger. But for a daily look, I am very excited to try this out with the brush. So with Elysian, we're gonna pop this on top of the Willow shade, which is that beautiful green. Wow. And we're going no further than halfway with Elysian. Wow, this is stunning. This is like a medium taupe shade, but it is pulling a bit silver. These shades are so unique, these colors. They're so hard to describe. But also in this, I feel like I can see green too. It's very unique. I mean, maybe we can see the green because I put green underneath. Okay, now the final sparkling foiled shade is Macchia, and this shade really excites me too. I'm really into these colors at the moment. It's a beautiful green, but it's got golds in it too. It's a real olive color, I think. Okay, and this is going on that very inner. Oh my God, look at it. Yes. That's very pretty. I've really built up the pigment there. This is a lot. This is a lot, okay? This is a lot to go out with, but I just really wanted to play around with those colors. I am just staying home today, thank goodness, because this is a lot going on. I don't even know which look is my favorite yet. I can't tell. Okay, now will I regret this decision? I probably will, but let's do it anyway. I want to test out the Calathea shade. This is another cream to powder formula. We're taking another stiff brush and we're gonna pop this along the bottom. We're gonna apply this along the top lash line. Oh no, this is nice. I don't regret this yet, but it is giving us more green into the look. So I was tempted to use the flax shade like we did on this side. That would also help tie the looks together, but I wanted to test this out. We're just having fun. Okay, we're just having a good time. Okay, this is working out really well. I just love it. This is how we are looking now. Here are the two looks. What do you guys think of these two looks so far? Now let's go ahead and do the rest of the face makeup and then we'll complete these two looks. Okay, I wanna test out this stupid foundation again. Everyone is raving about it and I don't understand. I don't get it. So this Yucca palette from Natasha Denona is so exciting to me. The colors in there I think are so unique. They're grungy, they're murky, but they're still neutral. I love the palette. My only concern and criticism so far with the palette is that can you get a bunch of different looking looks out of it? I'm not too sure. So far, I'm not seeing a lot of variety of looks you can get. I feel as though everything that you're gonna put on your eye is gonna pull a little bit green, it's gonna pull a little bit yellow, warm toned oranges. And I mean, hey, nothing wrong with that. But if variety is what you're after in a palette, I'm not sure if this is it. But I do love me a monochromatic palette, I really do. The formulas in here, oh my goodness, the formulas are absolutely incredible. They blend like a dream. The cream to powder is delicious. The sparkling foiled, give me more. I want this in every single color under the sun, okay? I want it all. I just love this new formula. It has only been this year that I've really been playing around with Natasha Denona. This year I have really stepped out from the drugstore eyeshadow palettes and gone for more luxury palettes. And oh my goodness, wow. Luxury palettes, they do know what they're doing. They really do. And I am hooked on Natasha Denona now. You may have seen I have uploaded several videos now using her palettes, and I also have more coming. So I'm a big fan of Natasha Denona, and this palette is a lot of fun. It's so unique. And to be honest, I probably could have done my face makeup first because I have no fallout at all. Like there's zero fallout from what we did today. See, how does anyone think this foundation looks good? What am I doing wrong? I also waited for the sale for this. I always highly recommend wait for the sale. When these palettes are permanent, wait for the sale. Don't buy full price. They're gonna go on sale. So just hold it out, be patient. It will happen, it will go on sale. It's just a matter of time. But yeah, I really love this palette. Do I see myself using this palette a lot? I kind of do, and I kind of don't. It is very much a step outside of the neutral realm that I'm in at the moment, but it is that next step of a colorful neutral palette, which I think is so fun, and the shimmers are next level. And so far, I'm very happy with how these looks are turning out. So to sum up my thoughts of the Yucca palette, I love the packaging. I think the packaging is really beautiful. I love the theming of it. I love the shade names. I love the color story. And my favorite thing is the sparkling foiled formula. Wow, absolutely wow. My criticism is a lot of the looks I think you'll create will look very similar. I don't think there's much variety you can get. So that's my positives and negatives of this palette. I'm gonna get back to doing the rest of my face so we can finish off these looks. Okay, I am back and now it's time to finish off these two looks. Let's start off with look number 1 and we're gonna jump in with the shade Fuchsia. Again, this is the cream to powder shade, and with Fuchsia, we're gonna buff this along the whole bottom lash line. And then lastly, we're gonna grab the shade Ixia again, and we're gonna be popping this onto the outer third of the bottom lash line. Actually, let's take it into the bottom half. Yeah, we're going to take it into the bottom half of the bottom lash line and smoke it up. Now we're going to finish off the second look over here, and to do that we're going to go in with the shade Acacia. We are yet to use this shade, so let's see how this one looks, and we're going to pop this all along that bottom lash line. And I am running out of clean brushes. Oh, this is a nice shade. Wow. This is really nice. This is a really nice shade. Wow. And then we just have to use Willow one more time. So that's this beautiful green. And we're gonna pop that on the bottom lash line again, just from halfway and up and out. Ooh, Pretty fun, isn't it? And I've taken it a little bit too close in. Oops. Oh well. I do want to brighten up the inner corners of both looks. We're actually going to take the shade Komorebi and I'm going to pop that with the brush on the inner corner. Yep, that's lovely. Absolutely lovely. And I'm going to just do the same for the other side, just so they match up a bit. I'm in love with this shade. This is probably my favorite shade in the whole palette. Look at that. Look how good that is. All right, we're going to go ahead and curl our lashes now, and then we're going to apply mascara. No false lashes, just can't be bothered. It's fine. And I'll be right back. Okay, and here we have the completed 2 different eye looks. What do you guys think of it? I think it turned out really, really cool. So I'm very happy with how it resulted. I do think they're cohesive together and separately. I'm glad we tested out the greens, and I'm glad we tested out every single one of those sparkling foiled shimmers. Thank you guys so very much for watching. I do hope you enjoyed. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and I will leave a video right here for you to check out that I hope to see you over there. Have a wonderful day. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.